There's something magical about the spaces we call home. Not the furniture we buy or the trends we follow, but the stories, the history and care woven into the spaces we create for ourselves. Last year, I stepped into homes that felt alive, with personality and purpose. Welcome back to Human Made Homes, where we explore these unique stories told by the humans who crafted them. We began last year with Dainiel, a Venezuelan Parisian with a deep love for Art Deco. Stepping into his home, you could immediately feel his passion for design and history. Most of his furniture was sourced secondhand. Every detail, every curve, material was chosen with intention. Dainiel's home reminds us that creating a space isn't about rushing to fill it, but about curating it with care. Next, I visited Fanny in her Parisian apartment. She had just moved in with her boyfriend, and this type of merger can be challenging. 2 lives, 2 styles, and 2 histories to create one cohesive home. Their home is a vibrant blend of secondhand designer pieces, but also bold colors and unique flea market finds. Fanny's work in clean beauty with Oh My Cream added another layer of thoughtfulness to the space. Every item seemed to mirror their shared creativity and love intentional living. Their apartment felt joyful, alive, and above all, authentic to who they are. From the moment I stepped into Lise's Haussmanian apartment, it felt like stepping into a love letter to Parisian architecture. The moldings, the fireplace, the balcony, it was Paris at its most classic. But Lise, an artistic director, added her own romantic and feminine touches. The soft textures, the delicate details, and the carefully chosen accents, they all brought warmth to the space, balancing the historic charm with a more modern sensibility. Lisa's home felt like it belonged in a storybook, yet it was entirely hers. Carine's home was like a breath of fresh air, a Mediterranean retreat in the heart of Paris. Inspired by the 1970s Italian aesthetic and designer, her apartment radiated warmth and creativity. Carine's decor was a collection of treasures from her travels, each piece telling a story. Earthy tones, the natural materials, and rich textures reflected her love for connection, places to memories. Carine's home was a reflection of her life, thoughtful, adventurous, and full of heart. Stepping into Sia's home, I knew I was about to see something daring. As an interior designer, Sia doesn't follow trends. She marches to the beat of her own drum. Her apartment was a striking mix of Haussmanian architecture and Brutalist design, mixing industrial accents and modular furniture with beautifully classic moldings and tall windows. It wasn't just bold, it was practical too. Sia's home showed me that experimentation pays off. Her space is functional yet innovative, challenging traditional ideas of what a Parisian apartment should be. With Pirrie, I was transported to another era. Inspired by 18th century French boudoir, her apartment was an ode to elegance and femininity. From the soft tones and chic details to her love for Art Deco and Italian design, Pirrie's home was a masterclass in layering influences. Every room felt intimate, yet grand. This is a daring experiment and a timeless creation. It's a space that speaks to her individuality, her passions. Each of these homes told a story. They weren't just apartments. They were expressions of the people who created them. And they reminded me of why I started this series, to inspire us all, not to replicate, but to create a space that feels like a home. And this year, diving even deeper, from Babeth and William's family home to the Mediterranean-inspired space. Babeth, her husband William, and their 3 children have created a space that's not just functional, it's full of heart. This home is a harmonious mix of designer pieces and bright, playful touches, with every detail carefully chosen to accommodate a busy family life. While outside, the beautiful garden is designed as a social hub. Babeth and William's home is filled with love. Every detail serves a purpose, and that purpose is joy. Ekhi's apartment, with its oceanic palettes of blues and whites, reflect the beauty of the Mediterranean coast. Her space is a love letter to Marseille and the Mediterranean, as it is designed to reflect the colors, the light, and serenity of the views from her apartment. Elissa chose to work with local artists and use natural materials, blending the charm of the South with a modern sensibility. She and her husband imagined and built this space from the ground up, carefully considering their family's needs and the traditions of their southern homes. This balance creates a space that feels lived in, yet full of care. Elissa's Marseille home is a perfect example of how functionality and beauty can coexist. When I visited Parysatis' home, I found a space rich with stories and personal history too. A recent transplant to Marseille, Parysatis has poured her heart into creating a space that reflects her unique blend of influences, mixing family heirlooms and travel finds in a tranquil reflection of her journey. The mix of old and new, traditional and contemporary, creates a space that feels peaceful yet vibrant. And there's a secret gem hidden in her home that I cannot wait to share with you all. Back in Paris, Marilou invited me into her bright and sunny apartment, where personality and playfulness take center stage. Her space is filled with pieces that hold meaning, reflecting her love for design and her connection to her family. Every item Marilou brings into her home has a purpose and reflects her personality. Finally, we visit Nami's home, a serene oasis tucked away in the heart of Paris. As I stepped into her Japanese garden, I felt transported, as though I'd left the bustling city far behind. Nami's home is filled with beautifully curated collection of books, design finds, and unique art. As we wandered through her space, she shared the story of how she discovered this one-of-a-kind apartment in Paris and the many memories she's created there. Nami's home is a space that invites you to slow down, reflect, and appreciate the beauty of the everyday. These stories of creativity, connection, and individuality remind us all that a home is more than just a space. It's where we become ourselves. So, Human-Made Homes will pick back up. Subscribe now to follow the journey and come hang out in the comments. Tell me which stories you're most excited to discover. You can also check out all of the older episodes of Human-Made Homes already available on my YouTube channel, Abra da Graça. I'm Abra, and this is Human-Made Homes. Together, let's continue to explore what it means to truly feel at home.